Buenos días, estudiantes. Espero que estén bien. I wanted to read you this book called It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. Written by Theresa Thorn, illustrated by Noah Grigni, and with permission from Henry Holt and Company. This is Ruthie. She is a transgender girl. This means when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone that she's actually a girl. Girl is Ruthie's gender identity. This is Ruthie's little brother, Javier. Javier is a cisgender boy. That means when Javier was born, everyone thought he was a boy, and as he grew older, it turned out everyone was right. He is a boy. Boy is Javier's gender identity. There are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl, too many to fit in a book, but not everyone feels like either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. This is Ruthie's friend, Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both boy and girl. This is Alex's gender identity. This is Alex's friend, JJ. JJ is neither a boy or a girl, nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or a girl. They just felt like themselves. This is JJ's gender identity. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in a book. Some kids feel like girls. Some kids feel like boys. Some kids feel like a little bit of both, part boy, part girl. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. They feel like neither. Some kids feel that their gender identity isn't always the same. It's often changing. And even with all these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel any of the words they know fit them exactly right. There are a never-ending number of ways to be yourself in the world. Whether you feel like a boy or a girl, both or neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your gender identity might match what people thought you were when you were born, or it might not. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people who you were or how you felt. They looked at you and made a guess. Maybe they got it right, maybe they got it wrong. What a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents, "I know you think I'm a boy, but I really feel like a girl." Oops, Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it at first. When people guess right, it is also okay to let them know. Javier was 3.5 when he told his family, "I'm a boy. I like being a boy." You might feel like a boy. You might feel like a girl. You might feel like both boy and girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day or from year to year. You might feel that none of these words describe you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out. Your feelings about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. No matter what your gender identity is, you are okay exactly the way you are. and you are loved. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? Here's some terms to know. Sex assigned at birth. This is what is listed on a newborn baby's birth certificate. Adults involved in the baby's birth say whether the baby appears female or male. Intersex. Not all people's bodies are exactly female or male. Intersex means that from birth, somebody's body doesn't match exactly what we have defined as male or female. Gender identity. This is who you feel like within yourself, whether you feel like a boy, a girl, some combination of boy and girl, or something else. Your gender identity is who you know yourself to be. It might match your sex assigned at birth, or it might not. Gender expression. This is how you choose to present yourself to the world, which clothes you wear, how you style your hair, how you walk and talk. Gender expression is how you express your gender identity. There are a never-ending number of ways to express your gender identity, too many to fit in a book. Cisgender. This is when your gender identity matches your sex assigned at birth. Transgender. This is when your gender identity is different from your sex assigned at birth. And non-binary. This is a way to describe many identities that fall between boy and girl or outside the binary of boy and girl. There cannot be one definition because there's no one way to be non-binary. Here's a note about pronouns. She, her, he, him, they, them, and ze, here are some of the pronouns of people of different gender identities may use to refer to themselves and would like others to use when talking to or about them. We can't know for sure what anyone's gender identity is just by looking at them or listening to them speak. And we can't know for sure which pronouns they use either. When we guess or assume and use the wrong words, we can really hurt people. A good first step is to listen. Someone who already knows a person well will probably use the correct pronouns when referring to that person, and we can follow their lead. It can be okay to ask about pronouns, but it is important to be sensitive. It might not be the right time or place to ask, and the person may not be ready to talk about it. So if we introduce ourselves and share the pronouns we use, we can make it easier for the person we are meeting to do the same if they feel comfortable. And that is It Feels Good to Be Yourself. See you next time.